Cooking in America was on this way to becoming a lost art. And one of the things that's happening is it's being recaptured, which I think is really healthy. I mean, if we don't learn to cook again, we are, I think, doomed. We're doomed to giving over our entire food culture to industrial food, which will be a terrible thing. We're in a very strange place right now in America, I think. I mean, on the one hand, you have a huge movement of people who care about sustainability and want food that is pesticide-free and has not transgenic, has not been interfered with in any way, food that has been picked by angels. On the other hand, you have an industrial food system that is increasingly powerful and is manipulating foods in ways that they've never been manipulated before. And I think one of the things that we really have to do is bring these two food systems together, just move them into one place so you don't have rich people eating gorgeous, pristine vegetables and animals who have had happy lives, whereas the people who are picking that food are people who are relegated to eating stuff that is barely food and is cheaper than food. I just got back from Mexico. I was in the wholesale food market there, which is the largest wholesale food market in the world. It's enormous. And one of the chefs I was talking to stopped by the apples, and he said last year 70% of all the apples grown in Mexico went to waste. I mean, if you think about the magnitude of that problem and you think about everything that went into those apples and went into getting those apples to the market, and then the idea that they ultimately all got thrown out, I mean, you're beginning to see what an enormous problem this is. We have had this stick held over our heads saying, the world population is getting bigger and bigger and we need transgenic food. It's the only way we're going to feed the world. And in fact, we know that the most efficient farms are in fact family farms, not monocropping, and that our big problems are distribution, waste, and that we don't need to be producing more and more food. We need to be figuring out how to distribute it more fairly.